Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about today's video. We are going to be seeing how much I can read in 24 hours. I've been wanting to make one of these videos for a very long time, but I have just not had the time on my hands. But today is the day. I've decided that we're going to be splitting this reading up, so I'm going to be doing 12 hours today and 12 hours tomorrow. I think this will be easiest because then I can really focus on reading while getting some sleep tonight and being well rested for tomorrow. I have a full stack of books here as well as books on my Kindle and audiobook. So we have a lot of options. I wanted to throw in a couple different genres so that if I'm getting bored, I can switch it up. Obviously, I am not going to be getting to all of these books. I know that. I'll probably end up reading 3 books. I went to Barnes & Noble yesterday and I picked up 4 new books. Some of them were for this 24-hour reading challenge and others were for a different video idea. Let me roll those clips. It's currently 10:45, so I'm going to be setting a 12-hour timer. I just ate a big breakfast, so I am very full and very ready for this reading challenge. The very first book that I'm picking up is going to be The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff. I have seen nothing but great things about this book. I was actually watching Sarah's YouTube channel the other day, and she rated this book a 5-star. And I always trust Sarah's opinions because I feel like we have very similar book taste. This book is also not very long, so I feel like this will be perfect to start off this challenge with. So let's get into it. My nails are too long, so I'm using this spoon. We are now an hour into our 24-hour reading challenge, and I am 72 pages into The Bright Years. So far, I'm really enjoying this book. We are following Lillian's point of view, and it is jumping back and forth between a couple of years and explaining her life story. I didn't expect to read such an emotional book at 10 in the morning, though. I believe that there's going to be other point of views in this too, so let's keep reading. I don't know if I can continue on in this book because I'm 140 pages in and this book is literally so sad. How can this keep getting worse? I'm almost done with this book, and I just have a question of how much grief and sadness you can fit into a book, because the author has managed to fit so much grief and sadness into 270 pages. So we are now 3 hours and 30 minutes into this reading challenge, and I just finished the first book, which is The Bright Years. This book was amazing and sad and beautiful and sad. In this book, we have 3 different point of views. We're following Lillian for the first part, and she is a mom and she is going through some marriage problems with her husband. And then in the next part, we're following their daughter, Georgette, and her point of view on what happened with her parents. In the last part, we get Ryan's point of view, and he is Lillian's husband and also Georgette's dad. This book talks heavily about alcohol addiction and how it can tear families apart. I think that the author did a beautiful job at telling this story. I liked that we got the 3 different point of views because we can see everyone's side in this. I would definitely recommend this book. I'm going to be giving this book a 4-star today. We are going to be moving on to our second book, and I'm kind of feeling like maybe a romance or a little fantasy of some sort. So I'm trying to decide between Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston, Summer in the City by Alex Astor, or we could even do The Selection. I've heard a lot of great things about this series. I think I'm leaning more towards The Selection. I have not read the series. I've had it recommended several times. I believe that this is a young adult fantasy. Also, not trying to be a hater, but I absolutely hate covers like this. That's honestly probably why I have not picked this book up, because if I don't like the cover, usually I won't read the book, which sounds horrible, but a cute cover does go a long way. And usually young adult books fly by very quickly, and I feel like we just need some good, quick, easy reads. So let's jump into The Selection. We are 180 milligrams of caffeine into this readathon, and we're only 3.5 hours in. I don't know how I'm gonna survive this because My brain is already needing a break, but we're gonna continue forward. Just to give you guys a little update, so I ate lunch and I've been listening to the selection for about an hour. I had to do the dishes and start some laundry. So I threw on the audiobook and I've been listening to it. Besides the narrator's voice literally being like nails on a chalkboard, I'm enjoying the book so far. It definitely is very YA, but this book is kind of giving me like Powerless, Hunger Games, Red Queen vibes. Hi guys, so we needed a little bit of a change of scenery because I have been sitting in the same place on my couch for a couple hours now reading. I'm on chapter 10 of the selection. I listened to about 3 hours of it through audiobook. I just switched back to the book. So far, my only thoughts on this book are that I'm enjoying it. I feel like there's a lot of drama going down. It feels like a reality TV show. Our main character's name is America Singer. Yes, you heard that right. Her first name is America and her last name is Singer. And what is she as a profession? She's a singer. So horrible naming on the author's part. That is my one complaint so far, is that's just absolutely horrible. I almost threw this book across the room. Oh, and she has red hair, so not only is her name America, but she has red hair, so she is just repping the country right now. I don't even know if this takes place in America. She gets selected to move to the palace and meet the prince, and she is fighting with 34 other girls to try and become the new princess. She only entered the competition because her mom really wanted her to. But here's the thing, is that America had a little boy toy in her hometown that she was hoping to get married, so she thought, you know what, I'll please my mother, I'll enter this competition, there's no way I'm gonna win. But I feel like just by her being the main character, we already know the outcome, and I'm guessing, this is not a spoiler because this is just my thoughts, I'm guessing she's gonna win because why else would she be the main character? Anyways, so she doesn't think she's gonna win. They are now in the castle and she's meeting the other girls. She has not met the prince yet. But I'm low-key eating this up because the way it's written, the writing is so easy to understand because it is a YA book. Besides the awful character's name and this awful cover, really enjoying this. Like I said, this feels like a reality TV show. We have 6 hours left of our challenge, so I am going to keep reading this book. I'm pretty sure I can finish this by the time those 6 hours are done, and it probably end up starting a third book. Who knows if I'll read the second one in this series next, even though that was not on my TBR list. I literally have a whole stack of books that I could consider, but if I like this, I may just jump into the second book. So we're gonna keep reading and I will keep you updated. Also, I did a little drink run because I just, you know, I needed a little pick-me-up. My mind is starting to get tired. Like, my body's not tired, but it's like that feeling when you do too much schoolwork or studying, your head just feels like jumbled. That's how I'm feeling right now. You can definitely tell I live in America by the size of this drink because this is the size of my head. That's actually really funny. I said you could tell I live in America. America, our girl America, America Singer. I need a little bit of a change of scenery, so we're gonna be doing a little bit of car reading before I head home. Don't mind that I literally look like the biggest jump scare ever. I took a shower and I am in my PJs. I've been on the couch for the last 3 hours. And I'm not gonna lie, I am so ready for this timer to go off. My brain literally feels like jello. Like, I'm having a hard time forming complete sentences because I have been reading literally all day. And my focus is slowly going out the window. I felt it within the last 2 hours. I only have about 50 pages left. Try and get as far as I can into those 50 pages, but they may just have to wait for tomorrow. I don't know how these creators do these 24-hour reading challenges consistently, because how can you focus for that long? I have never been happier to hear an alarm. I'm I'm gonna add up how many pages I read today and I will put that on the screen right here. But I'm gonna get some sleep. I will be back tomorrow morning and we're gonna continue this and do another 12 hours. We're probably gonna end up finishing this book in the morning. It won't take very long because I am very far into it. And then we're gonna get on to our next book. I have not decided what that is yet because I don't know what vibe I'm gonna be in tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It is now day 2 of our 24-hour reading challenge. I'm gonna finish up the rest of the 12 hours today. But first, I made myself a big breakfast. So I have some sourdough toast, 3 eggs, and then nectarines. Nectarines are my absolute favorite fruit. I just finished eating, so now I'm gonna set my timer for 12 hours and we're gonna start reading. Yesterday I left off with about 30 pages left of this book, and so we're gonna finish that up and then I'll give you guys a review and we'll jump into the next one. I just finished the selection and I'm going to be rating this book a 3 stars. I enjoyed reading this book. I felt like it was a very quick read and it went by very fast. The plot was easy to understand. I will say it did feel very young adult, and obviously it's a young adult book. It just felt really simple, which is okay. I feel like there's sometimes a place for simple books. I don't know if I'll pick up the second book. It looks like there's all of these books. It looks like there's 6 more books. I feel like I didn't have to use my brain that much with this book. I listened to some of this on audiobook, and honestly the audiobook was horrible. I felt like the lady's voice was like nails on a chalkboard, so I would not recommend the audiobook. So our next book is going to be Remarkably Bright Creatures. This book is very bright. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, and so it does have these sprayed edges, which honestly I don't necessarily love these sprayed edges. I feel like this book is a little bit loud, but it is kind of fun. I also love the material that this book is made out of. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's like a thick paper instead of like the glossy paper. And then also, if I can be a nerd for a second, this has the most book smell that I've ever smelled. You know when a book just smells like a book? Okay, that sounds like kind of dumb. This book is about 360 pages, which is longer than the first 2 that I read, so this one should take me a little bit more time. But we do have the full 12 hours, so I'm sure that I will finish this in time. So let's get into it. Side note, but I just started watching the Gilmore Girls for the very first time, which is honestly shocking that I have not watched it just yet. But I'm gonna turn that on in the background because I just love the vibe of the show. I'm only on episode 4, but the episodes are a little bit longer. So I'm gonna have that on in the background to kind of have some white noise in a way. Hey guys, so it's a couple hours later and I've made a lot of progress on our book. I'm really enjoying this one. I am more than halfway done with it, so I should be able to finish in the next little bit. We have a couple different point of views that we're following in this book. So we have Marcellus, and he is the octopus. He has been in captivity basically his whole life at the aquarium. And then we have Tova's point of view, and Tova is an older woman and she is the cleaner of the aquarium. And then we also get the point of view of Ethan, and Ethan works at the supermarket that Tova goes to. And then we have another point of view that I haven't quite figured out why it's thrown in there. His name is Cameron and he is in his 30s and he did not grow up with his mom in his life and he's never met his dad. So we're following his story. He lives in a completely different state as Tova, Ethan, and Marcellus. But my husband and I just had a really fun little date night. We got an air fryer and we've been craving fried pickles because we absolutely love fried pickles. So we had the idea to bread them in hot Cheeto dust. So this is our delicious fried pickles. They literally are like red 40 colored, but I also did make homemade ranch and they're actually so good. So if you like fried pickles, definitely try these out because it's the perfect combination. So we're gonna continue reading. We still have 8 hours left of this reading challenge. We still have 5 hours left of this reading challenge, but I have just finished Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. If I'm being completely honest, this is one of my top reads of this entire year. I absolutely enjoyed this book the entire time. I read this in one sitting and just obsessed with this. This is going to be getting probably a 4.5 star, maybe a 5 star actually. We're gonna be moving on to our very next book, and I'm kind of feeling like a romance book. So we either have Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. I DNF'd the 7-Year Slip by her. That was my very first book I tried to read by her, but I just finished reading A Novel Love Story a couple days ago and I really enjoyed that one. Or we have Summer in the City by Alex Astor, and I just picked this one up for this vlog specifically. This one is just such a beautiful book. This is the Barnes & Noble special edition. It has a really pretty map of New York City in the inside, and then the sprayed edges are actually really cute. They have a taxi on them. Honestly, I don't really read the backs of books when I buy them for the most part. I kind of just like to go off the cover or reviews that I've seen of people liking them. So let's read what this one's even about. Something about songwriting. Okay, I think we're gonna go with this one, Summer in the City. Something to do with a billionaire. If she's gonna be dating a billionaire, immediately yes, we are reading this one. Yeah, like it's not bad. I've been reading it super quick. The female main character, she's kind of mean. But he's so nice to her, but she's just rude to him. I don't get it.
I'll shut this door so you don't have to hear him munching as well.
We have officially finished the last 12 hours of this challenge. I'm gonna get in bed and get some sleep because it is pretty late. But I'm gonna update you guys tomorrow on all of the books I read and how far I made it into this one. Hi guys, so it is now the next day and we finished our readathon last night. I ended up doing a total of 24 hours, 12 the first day, 12 the second day. And honestly, I had a lot of fun. I feel like I got a lot of reading done that I wanted to get done. So let me do a little wrap up of everything that I read. First off, I read The Bright Years. Absolutely love this one. This is probably one of my favorite reads of this month. Then I finally got around to The Selection. I enjoyed this one as well, but this one is definitely very YA. So I would recommend this probably to 16-year-olds and under. Then I read Remarkably Bright Creatures, and I absolutely love this one. This may be one of my favorite reads of the entire year. And then lastly, I picked up Summer in the City. I have about 50 pages left, so I'll probably end up finishing this one today. My thoughts on this one are that it really isn't anything special. I know that sounds very harsh. This is just a classic romance book. Elle is a little bit mean to Parker. I feel like he's just trying his hardest and she is not very nice to him, which I don't understand why Parker keeps trying. But I feel like this is just dragged on for way too long and she's been mean to him basically the entire book, and I only have 50 pages left. I am enjoying the scenery of this book though. It takes place in New York City and Elle is a screenwriter, and so she is visiting a bunch of stops in New York City because she wants to get the feel of how they are before she writes them into her script. And so that's been kind of fun. I've been to New York, but it was a couple years back. And so it's nice that this takes place in New York because it's very atmospheric. I had a lot of fun with this challenge. Maybe next time we do it, I shoot for the full 24 hours. I felt like the 24 hours split up was very easy to do. You just need to have 2 days that you set aside for reading. At the end of those days though, I was so tired. My mind just felt exhausted. It felt like when you study for hours on end. Overall, I'm really happy with the reads I picked. I feel like they all went by very quickly. But I wanted to thank you guys for watching this video and let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books.